Okay, we can, I guess we can start. I think it's time. So recording is already going. So let's start. Welcome everyone. My name is Adam Rosman. I will be your host today. Welcome to the Metal3 Community meeting. Today is 15th of October, and I think we can skip the introductions, go to the reminders, and please remember that the meeting is recorded. If you would like to help the project, then you can do that by picking up a good first issue or a help wanted issue and commenting, solving, or otherwise helping with that. That would help the project greatly. Also, if you would have no time but you have ideas for good first issues, then please feel free to create them and add the appropriate label. If you are part of an organization who is willing to acknowledge the adoption of Metal3 publicly, then you could help with that, and you could create a PR in the in the community repo and modify the adopters.md file in the root of the repo, same way as the others have done, adding your organization, and that would help us track the adoption level, and not just us, but also parent organizations too. If you think that your pull request has run into a test failure or multiple test failures, and you think it's not related to your current change, then it might be a CI issue. So please create a issue in the affected repository, and then add that issue or link that issue to the Metal3 CI tracker project on the issue creation page or on the issue UI. Okay, if you are interested about any other statistics, please check out the main page, the website, the book, or any of the links in this document or on the GitHub main page, organization main page. And with that, I think we can continue and continue with the working groups. And I don't think there are any info about any working groups. One thing maybe that I can add to the AI, that Copilot reviews are being used for some time now, and they are available in general for people who have Copilot licenses, if I understand correctly. So if you have the license, according to my understanding, if you have the license in some way, then you can call upon Copilot in our project, and then it can review as another reviewer. Just FYI, related to artifacts, that is also another news, but feel free to stop me if you have any topics for these groups. But there is also this news that there will be a new pipeline to clean our IPA Artifactory cache, or cache, well, proxy cache, because there were simply no ways that the Nordics administrators would have been able to do it on Artifactory side. So we will have a additional pipeline, and I'm implementing that. So we'll see it soon. And then, yeah, I think that's all. Is anyone who has any comments for the working groups?
I don't have anything to add.
Okay. I think others neither, so we can continue to release team and roadmap. So I just fixed the links to the current release team members. Maybe one thing that's like might be interesting that I added the original presentation from the last meeting and the email thread that I promised to create where we can discuss opening up the release process and similar related topics. And yeah, feel free to check that out and feel free to engage in that conversation. I try to summarize there also what we have been, what we have proposed, and then what we should discuss. And yeah, I hope this will be some help. Okay, and then there is also patch releases going on already for IPM and BMO, and then CapM3 also for the 10 and 11 versions. The IPM and the BMO are out. There are no major stuff as far as I can see. Some uplifts and some Go CVE fixes and such. And then there will be a CapM3 release coming tomorrow. And that will include some bug fixing also. I can also go right away to the discussion topics, and then I will ask you if you have questions related to the whole release. But I think this is actually linked, the CapM3 release and the and my discussion topics. So we have noticed that there was bug in the CapM3, specifically if someone was upgrading from from a previous deployment that was using versions before 1.11, so 1.10x, 1.9x, and other releases. And then if you were upgrading to 1.11, and before the upgrade, the user was using this template reference that we have removed in 1.11, then the MetaCube data was generated based on the reference plus the indexes. And after the upgrade, if the user done a rollout, then the rollout could get stuck because in certain scenarios, first of all, like if the MetaCube data was generated based on the template reference plus the index, then in 1.11 that was undetectable because we removed the handling of that scenario. And then if you had these MetaCube data present with those sort of names, then it was orphaned, or it got orphaned. And then if you were using something like IP pre-allocation, then it was holding onto the IP, and it was causing these machines to get stuck in the rollout process. So it's detailed. There is a detailed description here, and also on the main. I would recommend checking this because if you have stakeholders or environments where you are planning to upgrade and then do rollouts, then you might be facing this scenario. It can be a silent problem for a long time because if you don't use IP pre-allocation, as far as I know, you would just have these MetaCube data getting orphaned and hanging around, and you could accumulate a lot of those. So it's worth to check this. Yeah, so now I ask any question related to the release, releasing, the release, opening discussion, the current patch releases, or related to this fix that will be part of the 1.11.1 and the main. any other topics? Anything you would like to bring up? Okay, if not, then we can go to the triage section. I started the triaging already, but I have not finished with this. So that is the first one. I answered this. This was Cloud Init metadata for pre-provisioning. And I see, Dimitri, you had some opinion about this.
Yeah, I also made a pass on this untriaged box just a few minutes ago. It's kind of, I recognize the issue as a potential issue. I just don't think we should really introduce this, the very things they're requesting. We should probably consider fixing it in Ironic. And I really want them to track it in Ironic because I know for sure that Julia has more experience with Cloud Init than anyone else probably.
Yeah, I would, my issue with this was mainly that this is also not really generic, so I think it's already a bit messy that the way that we handle this specific format of network data and whatnot, and it would be nice to have something more generic. And we already have this proposal for like attaching an ISO, a non-bootable ISO. So it would be, in my opinion, anyways, much more elegant if users would just attach an ISO with all the custom things they need, and then they can put like plugins into the IPA or other daemons or scripts or whatever, but they can handle it on their own. We would just attach the ISO and then users can do whatever they want. They anyway need the custom provisioner to handle even pre-provisioning network data, let alone anything extra.
I don't think a non-bootable ISO actually is going to help them tremendously. What they can do is to create a pre-provisioning image controller, which is what we do in OpenShift to solve this and many other problems we have with Ignition. So that could be a path forward, but really, if all they want is Cloud Init to work as well as Glean, or we possibly needed to provide some dummy metadata on the Ironic level and not even fix anything in MetalCube whatsoever. So that could be as simple as that.
Yeah. I mean, I think they're simply just asking for this metadata to be passed during inspection, or the ability to pass it for pre-provisioning. But when you say you would solve it in Ironic, you mean the same thing that I kind of wrote here, right? That network data, pre-provisioning network data has API endpoint and everything in Ironic, but metadata doesn't. So is that what you mean, that you would create on Ironic side a endpoint for metadata also for?
No, that's exactly I think we should not be doing. Because metadata is largely useless. Honestly, I'm not sure we should have introduced metadata at all. In this case, I believe the background of this request, maybe they don't put it there, maybe it was on Slack, but the background of the request is they could not make Cloud Init work if metadata is not provided at all.
Ah, okay.
So when we create, which is weird because Julia told me Cloud Init works. That's why I want her to take a look at that when they report an ironic bug. Because they're talking about network data. Network data is supported, that's all fine. They claim that it requires metadata. We can provide just some dummy metadata when building an ironic Python agent RAM disk inside ironic. We don't need to take any value. We just put something that makes Cloud Init happy, which is probably like an empty file or whatever.
Yep.
Simple JSON. But again, they should go to ironic with that first and foremost. And most likely we won't change MetalCube at all.
Okay. Yeah, that explains the situation or extends their explanation, because for me it was, I just thought that they just want the metadata for some reason to be able to pass that. But indeed, what you explained, that's actually what we do in the, for example, in the E2E tests, when we run the CAPM3 E2E tests, we, even for the node itself, we don't specify metadata. It's just an empty file, and then we just send the user data and the network data and then empty metadata. So yeah, it's supposed to work without metadata, or maybe it need one dummy value, but nothing more. So if that's the problem, indeed, that can be solved differently. Okay. But you answered here also, so we are waiting for an answer for their side, and I will put here the needs more info.
I think it's already there. Oh, okay.
Is it just not updating for me? Maybe. Okay, but it's there. That's what matters. Okay, then next one is the IPA cache is not used after switch to IRSO. I was not following this topic, this IRSO integration into the E2E.
Yeah, I'm not sure why Leonard is talking about a temporary hack when we can just use a newer version of IRSO, which is fully compatible.
Yeah.
Like it's basically replaced 3 letters.
Okay, so I will just comment that.
So now, do you wanted to say something?
Yeah, there was a discussion in our like internal chat as well. So the new version is resolves this issue. So yeah,
Okay,
open the PR to fix it.
so okay, so we already have a PR for this then, right?
I think it's got merged already, and then
Okay, so it's just not linked here. Do you know what's the PR for this? Because then I can close this.
I can just double check it on the chat. Meanwhile, you can go and I will message you.
Okay. Okay. Then I will accept it, and then I will close this one right away after I have the link for the PR that has resolved this, and that's we 12. And then there is already something in chat. Thanks, Sonat. Thanks for the link. I will copy this one. Like this.
Hold on, that's not a solution. That's just a change that introduced IRSO patch. We need to switch
Oh.
BMO.
Okay, then I will reopen. Okay.
We really just need to update the version in BMO. It should be fine. Then this PR will be included.
Okay. See this. Okay, this is just the base URI. And then, oh, where was I? But anyway, I will sort this out, but I will accept this. Because I think it's still not accepting it for some reason. No, because I mistyped it. Okay, now it's accepted, and then okay, this is fine like this, and then folks will sort it out. Okay, local IP cache for upgrade tests. Not exactly this, wasteful and slow. Yes, there. You know. Okay.
I had similar thoughts about their source tests themselves.
I would wonder how this would be done, because I think these right now are all running on GitHub runners, not even in our cloud. But I mean, I'm fine with it. I just don't know where would this cache be.
Upgrade test run in the our own cloud, our own Jenkins.
Oh, okay, so this is, but okay, this is just for upgrade. Okay, then it's fine. Then I get it. Thanks. Okay. What else do we have? Automated cleaning. What ironic, erase devices and erase device express. This is the second proposal to extend the cleaning mode.
There's basically three parts, two that I like and one that I hate.
Authentic cleaning access for erase device access. Okay. Erase device is the one that actually goes through and zeros everything, right?
So the way these three work, and by the way, this is the part I like. Metadata is just partitioning table. Express is it tries to use some fast arrays if possible. If not, it falls back to metadata. So for example, ATA, secure arrays or NVMe formatting, if it detects that, it uses that. Otherwise, it's again only partition tables. So like as best as possible, as long as it's fast. That's the purpose of Express mode. Full mode, or what they call deep mode, is again, try to have a quick secure erase, but if it is not available, really scrub the whole disk with shred. So they differ in the fallback, essentially. Both Express and Full try to do fast erasure, but one falls back to metadata and the other to just shredding everything with zeros. Actually, with random numbers, I believe.
Okay. And which part is the one that you don't like?
The next part about configuring whatever they're trying to do is manual cleaning mode. Here, there's a good part of here is to have an ability to opt out of disk erasure. That's probably useful. Everything else, I'm not sure what they're trying to do and why. And why they run Express and deep cleaning together, and what this all even means, I am absolutely not sure. I told them that for this part, they need to write a design proposal. You can check my comments right below.
Okay. Yeah. I think then this is an accept, but then we have to, or they have to modify it a little bit. Yeah, it's interesting. I was also playing around with this, and well, I had like a fourth approach here that if you just damage a little bit more the partitions than what metadata does, then I think for many purposes that's even better, or like even faster than the two other. But of course, if you are in a like a scenario where you have to get rid of every trace of data, then sure you have to scrape it uh, or zero it. Okay, and I think there was like another proposal that would add like yet another one where we would do it only for a brand new node, and then we wouldn't do uh, automated cleaning for or like later in the life cycle. So I might have to dig that up and also put it here because it seems that we will extend this cleanup mode quite a lot.
Oh yeah. Yeah, we need to make sure these proposals don't end up doing incompatible APIs.
Spend just a moment to look that one up. That other cleaning mode. This one. Where was my? Did this lose my? Oh, this lost my cache. Let's clean this up. Oh, it's here. Feature. PMO feature. Let's put it for 13. Okay, that looks fine. Cloud init. Okay, then we had seen this one. Unable to create hardware RAID config on their Parage servers. Same author. Okay, removed it there. That's fine. I will keep this in triage and let's see if this pops up on your end, then we can close it here. But
Yep.
I think I can. I don't know. I'm just thinking if I should put an invalid already on this. But I will wait a little bit.
Yeah, we probably need a new status. It doesn't sound so controversial. I remember in Bugzilla we have status upstream, which basically means we move the top of the ladder.
Okay, that I could.
Kind of closed upstream versus status in Bugzilla.
Okay, I will add that, but not now. But that's a good idea. Okay, next one is never gets the boot if parameter.
So I remember the conversation. This has two parts. One part is an ironic and there's already a launchpad bug and there's some discussion there. Another part is in BMO where we unconditionally set Pixie enabled on ports to true without considering anything. Well, I guess could make sense, but it needs double checking. But I think the lion's share of work is in ironic here.
Okay.
We could probably try as well close it as upstream, and if they complain, maybe revisit.
Okay. That sounds fine. But how does this? I'm not that familiar with that option because I thought for us what this was really doing is just when the Pixie comes up and starts looking for an interface address to download from views, that address because that's the name of the directory on the other end where it downloads the configs and whatnot from. And then in IPA, like those happen before we boot or during the boot, and then when the kernel boots.
So Sergey here essentially invents a new use case for boot if. What your recollection is correct. That's kind of where it all happens. So Ironic prepares corresponding files in HTTPD using MAC address as file name so that the firmware can find them. Here he has a virtual media and he wants to optimize DHCP based on boot if, which is kind of really an ad hoc use case for that. In any case, I defer it probably until the ironic discussion happens, or if you're curious about more information, the bug actually has some response from Julia, for example.
Okay, yeah, I will read into this because this is kind of then a little bit new as you mentioned. Okay. We'll leave these two then. These technically will need the new label. I will try to not forget that. And then we had an invalid. I will check that if there was some backlash. No, nothing. And I assume that everything after this is this is actually something that was not checked. Deprovisioning state boot to wrong drive. Oh yeah, this was this can be a lot of things, and this can be even the BMC. I was I was explaining this last time. Oh, let's give some info here. So maybe he's deprovisioning. So that's like But even that doesn't make any sense because it's the provisioning. Things wherever looking guide a console, I can see that boards custom image. Yes. To manually get them. Yes, I have going to. Yes, then it boots.
Looks like a broken machine to me, to be honest. Like they even mentioned that they have all machines working except for this one that does not, even though it's identical. It kind of feels like they need to talk to Supermicro about this one.
I've seen some weird behavior already in the past with but it was on provisioning and was due to the boot order list being having too many entries.
Yeah, I seen that too. I have a fix actually for Ironic to clean the boot order list. There's a bug, or was in the IPA that it was not reading the boot order list properly. I can show you in a moment, but I'm just thinking like, yeah, this part is the weird for me. The fact that the Pixie, so the Pixie was set looking at the console. I can see that boots into the custom image I provisioned. Okay.
So they mean that boots from the local disk instead of a
Yeah.
Pixie.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Or maybe. Yeah. It seems to me. It seems to me like a BMC issue. And was that redfish they mentioned? No, iDRAC.
I'm not sure why they say I drag for Supermicro, but they later they say they tried both redfish and APMI.
Okay. This. So what I wanted to show you, if we anyway discussing this.
I need to drop now, and Ricardo has already left, so maybe you want to delay this until next time.
Yeah, okay, then I will show it, and I will push it upstream anyway, so you will see that. But but that's related to this too many boot records problem. We also run into that. I just never had time to upstream it. Okay, I hope this was the last, but let's see if we have anything. Okay, this is still ongoing discussion. And this needed more info. So I think we are okay. Many folks have left already.
Just question about the IPFX. It's something that you are going to push in Iron Python agent itself, or
Yeah.
just- okay.
Upstream. Yeah, that's the plan. I have it on like this Nordics organization. This is like Open Infra Europe, and I have like my own branches here and some of my colleagues. So it's already halfway there. I just need to make the upstream like launchpad issue and all these things.
Yeah, that would be nice to have this kind of fix. I didn't yet looked into where it was going wrong, but happened to me once or twice, and it's not easy to find out what it was.
Yeah, we ended up with very bad situations related to that, and then I had to fix it. But I hope it will help others. But yeah, I will mention it on community meetings when I upstreamed it.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, and I think that was all the triaging, and we are almost out of time. So if you have anything that you would like to say or ask or discuss, then please do so. But if not, then that was all for this week. And thanks for staying for the long triaging, and sorry that it took so long. Yep, and let's meet next week the same time. And until then, have a great week. Bye bye.
Bye.
Thanks. Thank you.